Now, shortly after that, Alabama State Representative Alvin Holmes called Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas a, quote, Uncle Tom, and was accused of criticizing him for his interracial marriage. So last week, we sent David back on the road, this time to Montgomery, Alabama, to confront the representative and find out why he said what he did. Watch.
You called Clarence Thomas and Uncle Tom, Justice Thomas. Do you still stand by that statement?
Yes, I do. I think Justice Clarence Thomas on the United States Supreme Court is an Uncle Tom. A black man allowed himself to be used to carry the message of a white man, which is against the interests of black people in America. In my opinion, that's an Uncle Tom. In my opinion, Clarence Thomas is a very prolific Uncle Tom.
All right, joining me now to talk more about his confrontation is Sirius XM Patriot Radio host, Fox News contributor David Webb, also joining us, Democratic strategist Richard Fowler. All right, you were there, you confronted him. He stands by his ignorance. I mean, that's what I took out of this. Well,
not only does he stand by this, but as we will see as we play out this story, Sean, it's more about exposing ignorance, hypocrisy, bigoted behavior, but this feeling that we can do it. And the difference here, even between, say, Alvin Holmes and Reverend Barber, is that Alvin Holmes is someone who uses this. He's smart enough to use it because it plays to something that matters to them, which is, frankly, the dishonesty in this. Think about someone who knew Martin Luther King, who's been in the House since '74 in Alabama, who's been through the tough times, but yet continues to argue what happened back then pre-civil rights, not now.
All right, let's go. You asked him about the comment because he had criticized Thomas's interracial marriage. We've got tape of that where he kind of pushes off the blame.
You introduced a bill, but you made a statement about his marriage to a white woman.
Because there was members on the floor that were saying that. So they didn't say that publicly.
What members were saying that?
Many of them. Many of them.
So you reflected members on the floor that were saying this about his marriage?
Yes.
Were these members Democrats or Republicans?
Both. They not only had said that this term, they had said it last term.
Would you care to identify some of those members? Because I'd like to ask them.
Well, I don't recall exactly who did it. There's 105 members in the House of Representatives. And read offhand, I don't recall exactly who stated it. But okay. I wouldn't dare to say something like that.
Wouldn't dare, but didn't he?
But he
widely reported he did.
Right, and to be fair, it wasn't a clear attack on Justice Thomas's marriage to Ginny Thomas. But here's what you take away from that segment. He says many members are saying this. I'd asked this to the Alabama representatives, who are the Republicans and Democrats that are making statements about Uncle Clarence Thomas's marriage to Ginny Thomas. And when you confront or question or redirect, it's kind of a dodge. You look at the body language in this. There's a disingenuousness there that we can't tolerate in America.
All right, let's move on, because you also asked him about the Tim Scott controversy, and here's how that exchange went.
If you're going to get to be a United States Senator and every position you take is the position that the white folk tell you to take, what incentive is that going to be for young black?
How do you know that the white folk, as you put it, tell Senator Tim Scott what position to take?
Because every report I have read, he goes by what the white people are telling. If a white holding those positions vote against the interests of black people, well, we call them racist. If a black is in a position and vote against the interests of black people, we call them Uncle Toms.
Does he even know anything about Tim Scott?
That's
what it means to be a conservative?
Actually the point here, and what's really, when I pressed him further, and we have the whole tape on this, he doesn't really know anything about Tim Scott. I also press him on Tim Scott's policies. I said Tim Scott is for lower taxes, for education, better education, for jobs, double unemployment, double the national rate in the black community, black youth unemployment, epidemic. And then he kind of, well, he's found God's will or something like that. He doesn't know about him. I did encourage him, by the way, to go ahead and watch his RNC winter meeting speech to learn about him. But I asked him, is he still an Uncle Tom? And he can't answer. This is hypocrisy, disingenuousness. It's kind of the old demagogue routine that we can't accept as Americans. And by the way, back to those representatives in the State House, does this really reflect you?